Hey everybody, Jared with Jagros Equipment, Bobcat of Aberdeen. Welcome back to another episode. As you can see from the thumbnail, this is R Series Bobcat under the cab point of view. The reason we wanted to do this is a lot of customers own both S models and T models, so skid steers and track machines, just for different applications. People with large fleets utilize the skid steers for certain things and the track machines for certain things, whether that's the skid steers on hard surfaces such as asphalt repair, and then they're using the T models for site preparation, dirt work, etc. So you could go on and on about applications all over the world. So come over and take a peek. This is a brand new S76 rolled off the production line within like the last 30 days roughly. So you can see right away one of the things that makes an R Series skid steer best in the business is serviceability, and the ability to clean this machine out is like I said, best in the business. So on this machine you'll see the drive motors. So new for the R Series, coming from the M Series, there's two independent chain cases. So Bobcat started out with two chain cases in the 50s and 60s, and then they moved to one chain case down the center, which you'll see on M Series, G Series, and multiple other series of machines. So when they went to the R Series, they started to utilize two chain cases. So there is drive chains, two drive chains in both of these, and this drive motor is driving a sprocket that drives two chains out to each wheel. Those wheels do drive together, so it's either left or right. So with that being said, what that two chain cases gives you is a much better view of your components, a much better ability to wash this machine out, a easier view at everything when it comes to service work. So let's say down the road, or even when they're new, if there's warranty work, if one of these hoses fails, if one of these O-rings is leaking, you know, you can see how much easier this is for a technician to work on. Here's your main control valve. Now, we have a T76 next to this. So this is a T76 and an S76. I will mention, although these have different frames, the cabs are the same. They share a cab, they share a motor, they share a drive pump. So from the drive pump, the hydraulic tank, the main control valve, in various other components, there is a point where everything up is identical. So they're going to share cabs, booms, engines, like we said, major components. It's basically that frame from the firewall forward and from that drive pump down, you could say. So you can see the T76 sitting right next to it. As far as the drive pump, main control valve, hydraulic tank, even once you get into some of your components like ride control, machine controllers, fuse panels, we've mentioned in other videos that Bobcat does a really phenomenal job of sharing parts from model to model. And what that does is, for dealers and customers, it's easier to support customers because each model doesn't have a different part on it. Obviously, these two machines, from an S76 to a T76, the T76 has the drive motor out here on the undercarriage on both sides. So the drive hoses, which are very well protected, go under this cover You can kind of see those. I'll get a light in there for you. You can see where those hoses mount to that drive motor, and they pass through a hole in the frame, and then these hoses go to the drive pump. Not to jump back and forth too much, but those same hoses are much easier to see on the S model, and those travel to that same pump. So pump is the same, hoses are different, drive motors are different, obviously the frame's different. So showing both you know, is just a kind of a quick way to where if you do utilize skids and tracks in your fleet, on your farm, whatever the case may be, you can kind of see the differences. If you have both of these machines as an owner operator, they're gonna share all the filters, so hydraulic filters, cab filters, air filters, basically everything. So one of the major differences in these two as far as service intervals, right, is this is going to have chain case oil that does need to be serviced, and this is going to have drive motor cavity oil, which we've had numerous videos on that and why it's important. Your chain case oil is just as important. So these chain cases run in an oil bath, and then that oil travels around in there to lubricate your bearings, chains, sprockets. So everything else, you know, obviously you'll see drive motors in that one. You won't see drive motors in this one. This particular machine has 5-link torsion suspension, so you do see torsion axles. If you purchase an R series that does not have 5-link, it will have less components in here. You won't have these axles in there, so it'll be even easier to service that machine and wash that machine. Both R series skids and tracks, I mean, technicians can literally climb in them to perform service work, clean them, you know, whatever kind of a task you're doing. So both of these machines, we do have the cabs up and the booms up, obviously. We have the boom locks in both machines. Always do that when you're cleaning these, working on them. And hopefully that gives you kind of a quick view. We're gonna do more of these videos, so please comment about if you'd like to see a chain case service procedure. We've done a drive motor service procedure. Let us know if you'd like to see how to do the hydraulic filter. Both machines share hydraulic filter locations. There's one on the firewall in a canister there, and then there's a spin-on a little further down. You can kind of see it right there. So let us know if there's stuff like that you'd like to see, how to do those, where to do them, when to do them. Your operator's manual does explain all this, but it's funner to watch videos, and we'd be happy to help you guys. So hopefully this gives you a kind of a quick view. If you've ever wondered what both of these side by side look like under the cab, if you want to see these in person and you're in our area, we'd be more than happy to show you. We'd be more than happy to answer messages, phone calls if you have questions on specific things. So once again, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you, and have a great day.